Well, we're competing, but as far as coming along and trying to line them up, we're a long way from that, Mary Kay. I just coaching quarterbacks for 43 years, and you got to get them to a game. You got to put people in the stands in the pressure situations. Then we can rate them 1, 2, 3, 4 a whole lot easier. But right now we got two guys that, like me, that didn't even know the offense, that are still learning, in Brock and Deshaun. Both of them are studying hard. We got a great room. All four of those guys are smart. They study, they work, and ask great questions. And so if we can just continue to fundamentally get better, we've had a long way to go with some things in the lower body of Brock and Deshaun both. Cody's really improved here, the end of OTAs, and just on his distance, on his velocity, just some things that we've done in the lower body. And Kevin, I thought Kevin looked good today, 3 for 3, a couple touchdowns there in the red zone. So they're progressing, they're getting better. At the same time, we're asking a lot of them. They're totally in control of protections at the line of scrimmage, coverage, reading, throwing accurately, and then you got that 24-second clock that makes you speed everything up. So right now we just need to keep going, keep grinding like we are going into training camp, and then get to those games.
How difficult, Brock was talking about how you've helped him work on his fundamentals. First off, how do you teach fundamentals at this level, and are guys always receptive to that?
Yeah, you bet. If you look at accuracy issues, and I in my college career, I've coached 30 years in college and 13 in the NFL, and you had to coach in college so hard, especially in some of the option offenses. I had some guys that could fly and make you miss, but they couldn't throw it across the street. So fundamentally, we had to start from ground level. And I did so much research, and I had a great college coach, Steve Sloan, played for Bear Bryant at Alabama, won 2 national championships. Coach Parcells tried to hire him 3 times. He was my college coach. And if I ever get stuck, I just talk to him. But it all starts with a guy, once he sets his feet, is getting a shoulder width base, 80-20, just like if you were a golfer, and then taking a short step. Deshaun was a long strider. Brock was a long strider, to answer your question. And it's been a lot of work, and it's still not there yet, but there's a lot of improvement on Deshaun. Brock knows it. It's just when we start moving around, the bullets start flying, his legs get long again, like daddy long legs, and that's when he gets in trouble and the ball sails. You saw it happen out here once today, and it comes out of his hand too high because it's a long stride and his body doesn't catch up. You want him in an upright position when he throws, and he gets long, or any passer gets long, and the ball comes out too early. Their brain says, yeah, let it go, but their body hadn't caught up with their front foot, and so the ball will sail. That's a lot of work to get a guy to master this footwork that we're coaching, but he's trying really, really hard.
What do you have to work with in Deshaun Kizer?
First thing, fundamentally, is a long stride. It just came with him when he came. I mean, that have really affected his accuracy. It was, boy, he's all over it, and then he's array. He's all over it, he misses again, and that has been the number one thing, because when he gets a base and he shortens his stride and he steps and throws, it's a thing of beauty. I mean, he's got extremely strong arm, and if we can get his fundamentals in his lower body good, you don't touch his release. I mean, he's got the most beautiful release and whip in his arm. So, and he's got to learn the offense. He's got a lot in front of him, and it's different. It's not, we ain't playing Michigan anymore. It's a different schedule. So he's going through a lot right now, and his head's swimming. But boy, when he gets it and he gets the lower body, he's got a chance to be special.
Where's he made the biggest strides over the last 4 weeks?
Well, he started in the first practice. He couldn't call the play in the huddle. We don't wristband here. In Buffalo, we wristbanded. In Jets, we wristband. Parcells was a wristband. I've always been used to guys wristband. And Hugh said, we don't wristband anything. I said, what? He said, they got to memorize all that. I couldn't have done it, but he couldn't either the first day or two, so we were in there together. But he really couldn't. He struggled to get it all out because it's a lot. I mean, I can show you the script here. It's a lot to spit out. But he mastered that, and it was about the 3rd practice, and he got it and got it good. But the study, just studying the script of what's coming the next day, takes so much time and preparation. But he's really improved his study habits. But he's learned the seriousness and the grind and the preparation at his position is enormous. I think it was a little overwhelming at first, but he's just done better every single day. Got a lot of confidence in himself, and his throwing ability, and we just got to make sure he hadn't got more confidence in his arm than he does up in his head, because he can force a couple too.
Is that a stride situation really a difficult deal for a guy 6'8" like Osweiler, and Kizer's pretty tall, but does that really make it more difficult?
I would think so, but then you look at Peyton Manning, who's 6'5½", and he sits here like this, and he throws a curl and steps like that. And he throws a 20-yard out and he steps like that. He throws a go route, he steps like that. So height with him didn't matter, that's for sure. You know, he's the master of fundamentals, Peyton. He's got exactly everything I teach and believe in. That's how his feet work.
To have a guy like Kizer, though, you know, land in your lap, you know, when you come here to be the quarterback's coach, just what does he bring, you know, for you to work with, just in terms of sheer natural raw ability?
Yeah, that's a great question, because here's the answer: is big playability. That's what that dude's going to give this football team if he ever becomes a starter one day. And we don't know that yet, like I said, Mary Kay. But the way his ball moves and jumps off his hand and gets the receiver in a hurry. In this league, separation's so important. That receiver's got to separate and give me some room. But if that ball can get there faster, there's a whole lot less time to break on it. And that's what I see in him, as a big, strong guy, which is defined in this division by Ben and by Joe Flacco. And this kid's in that mold. I mean, he's 6'4 3/4". He's got a 10-inch hand. He's smart. He can run. He can move. He's not, you know, Tyrod Taylor, but he can run, you know, and get plays and make plays. And I mean, he's got a great future. He's just a long way from being ready. He's not ready, but he's climbing on it, and he's making progress.
Is there a difference between experience and good experience at the quarterback position? Like with Brock last year, how do you draw a line between things that can carry over and things you have to wipe the slate clean on?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. Brock, and I think Coach Jackson would back me up on this, he's been a pleasant surprise. You know, and hey, you can say what you want, but the guy in the last 2 years has taken 2 teams to the playoffs, 2 different teams to the playoffs, and there's nobody else in that room that can say that. Plus have what's this, his 6th year of experience. We got no experience. You know, and Kizer's fresh, been here 4 months like me, and then the other 2 were rookies last year. So he's the senior citizen, that's for sure, and he does a good job with these other guys. He's really helpful to them. I think Deshaun and he have built a good rapport, and they communicate a lot.
You mentioned Kizer really learning how to grind. How have you sensed him change from, you know, that opening press conference when he says, "I want to start right away," to now where he's kind of seems to have a little more perspective?
Well, he's had me in his ear, and he's had Hugh Jackson so far in his brain. He can't think and go to sleep at night without seeing Hugh, I promise you. Hugh's a great coach. And he's a great play caller, got great offense, and he's a great quarterback coach. And he and I are just have beaten the dog out of Deshaun, to be honest with you. You know, just we've talked about talking to you people and what you're trying to pull out of him, and how you're trying to back him in a corner and screw up and make a headline. And that's where we've been with the kid, and he's getting better and better. Is he going to be perfect talking? No. Is he going to say something wrong? Probably, but he's doing well right now, I think.
What's the main focus for Cody? What do you want him
Yeah,
to work on?
Cody, I don't know how much y'all have seen Cody in his career, because I don't know who all's been here, et cetera, but he has taken this. Cody, again, had a long stride, locked his knee, and he would look like a boomerang when he released the ball. He's gotten more upright because he's gotten a base. He's shortened his stride. He's got a bend in his knee. And if you've been out here with the last, he hit like 3 go routes in like a period of 3 practices, just from shortening stride and popping his hips and increasing his distance. So that's where I'm pleased with him, is he's gotten more velocity and distance on the ball. He was always accurate, and he was accurate coming out, but he wasn't really that deadly accurate past 15 yards. I think he's gotten better in that area. He knows the offense by far the best. You know, he knows all Hugh's stuff, and then Kevin's right there with him. Kevin knows it too. Kevin's smart. He's tough. I remember him at Stanford. That sucker, he just willed wins. He would will them. I think he beat Cody twice, I think. I don't know. You know, but so it's a good room. You know, it really is competitive, and they've taken to all our teaching, and we just got to get them a couple more weeks and go play a game, see what we got.
Coach, when you talk about a quarterback not being ready, especially when he's young,
Yeah.
how critical is that then, or how potentially bad could it be to put a guy in, especially when he's young, and he's under that title of not being ready?
Yeah, I think of it all the time. You know, how many really great young talents went in there and had to start day one. Bad things happened, and they're sitting in the meeting room looking up at the roof. You know, what's going on in my life here? You know, you would love to not put him in there till he's ready, but we don't know when that is right now. We don't know who the starter is right now, and he's competing too, because he moves the football. He moves it out here against a great defense. I think those guys are really good on defense. So when is that? I don't know. But when I look out there and I see him miss a protection call and he gets hit upside the head, I know he's not ready. You know, and that doesn't happen all the time. But when it does, you know, you can't put him out there. you know, and endanger the team as well as, you know, get him killed, you know.
When you
Time for two more guys.
your coaching fraternity is so tight.
Say it again.
Your coaching fraternity, I
Okay.
said, so tight. Did you talk to anybody in Houston or Denver to find out what kind of guy Osweiler is?
Yeah, sure did.
And so we kept hearing these stories about him being kind of a pain for people, coaches in Houston. Did you get any feedback?
No, listen, I said it before, I'm speaking from my heart. He has been great. His questions are great. He's got a lot of questions, but he ought to have. He knows. He's got football. He knows how to play. He knows systems. And when a read doesn't make sense to him, there's a reason it doesn't. Because somewhere he's been before, it didn't make sense. So the questions he asked were great questions, and you know, I can't speak for where he's been before or anything else, but I'll tell you right now, he had 8 out of 9 in minicamp 1. He hit last night. Hit 76% or something. He did fine. Moved the team down a 2-minute drive and scored today. And he looks like a guy that's played before. He's great at the line of scrimmage. He's great in the huddle. I mean, calming effect. You know, is he the quarterback yet? We ain't got one yet, but he's in the mix for sure.
How challenging for you to get your guy ready to play on opening day when you're having to carve up the reps, you know, 3 and 4 ways right now in the quarterback competition?
That's a good question, because, you know, when you see a young Deshaun Kizer or Brock who hadn't been in the offense, you know, I'm always bugging Hugh and he said, "Shut up, David, I got the reps, you know." But I want to see those two. That I've seen Cody and I've seen Kevin on tape, you know, quite a bit, where these other two in this offense, sure, I'd like to see more reps, but it doesn't matter what I want. Whatever Coach Jackson says, that's what we're doing.